guys, it's Clarissa Grace here from wakingupinparis.com, where I help female entrepreneurs nail their personal style. I help them transform themselves, just give them a dazzling core of confidence, shine bright like a damn diamond, and magnetize dream clients. Now, today I'm going to be talking to you about what you can be wearing on camera. Now, figuring out what to wear on camera can be really hard, and the problem is that it can affect your confidence hugely, right? So when I say camera, I'm talking about things like Facebook Lives, webinars, videos or photo shoots or TV interviews. When you're on the stage presenting talks, TED Talks, things like that. Now, the camera does not always tell you the truth. It is a tricky little thing. So the secret is to prepare. So today I'm going to be sharing 5 tips with you guys on how to dress for the camera so that you can feel just beautiful and confident and dazzling. Okay, so, hi Jen, hi Velma, it's Marion, hello darling. Now, I just want to tell a story about a number of years ago. And it was just, I think it was the day actually where Prince William and Catherine got married. When was that? Around 2012 or 11, something around there. Anyway, it was a while ago. And I was at a bridal fair where I was doing some parades because I used to own a label in Australia, a bridal label called Clarissa Grace. And anyway, so my gowns were being paraded there and we had film crew that had come in and wanted to interview me about my thoughts about Catherine's wedding dress. Which was unexpected, so I was completely unprepared for it, but I was still really excited because it was a big deal. It was going to get on the news, and so, you know, all that was exciting. But anyway, I went home that night, and I was completely mortified by what I was wearing. So I had this, I thought I looked gorgeous, of course. I had this adorable little Alana Hill number on. It had all these ruffles, and I had this big flower, and I thought I looked stunning. But seeing myself on camera, and I kind of died. Like, I just looked like a completely different person. And I think for the first time, like, you know how Oprah always says that the camera adds 10 pounds? I think I got that for the first time. And I was a tiny little thing back then. So yes, we don't want that to happen to you. And it's not just about the weight. It's just about you feeling like yourself, and that the reflection, you know, coming back feels genuinely you. Okay, you don't want to be shocked by looking at yourself on the camera because it just doesn't feel very good, right? So, hi guys, hi Susie, Velma, hello darling. Thank you guys for joining. Now, usually I do my Facebook Lives on a Wednesday, Thursday and Friday morning, but we have had jackhammers like banging, banging, banging for the last week next door to our house. So it stopped me from being able to jump online with you guys. So it's Saturday morning now and it is so quiet. It is heaven. So I thought this was a perfect opportunity. I've sent my kids out to the skate park with my hubby so I can be on a live with you guys. So yay. Alrighty, so let's get started. So the first tip is color. I'm going to go through some colors and I'm just going to tell you what colors work best, what colors don't work so well. So let's start with white. It's best to stay away from white, all right? So the white reflects lighting, which can confuse the camera and then wash you out. And the brightness makes your facial features kind of disappear. So you've got to be careful with it. Now, I think half of my wardrobe is white. So it's been tricky for me actually, because usually I actually wear a lot of white and ivories and cream colors, which I've got on now. But it's not great, all right? And I still play around with it, but yeah, if you can avoid it, I would. And the same with nude colors, like nudes are beautiful in glossy magazines. Like they're one of my favorites actually as a neutral, but again, they don't always translate. So you can look really washed out in them. Pastels, when pastels are really pastely, as in really soft, again, they can wash you out. But if you go into a richer pastel like this, kind of like this pink, oh my gosh, I'm looking at myself. Okay, so it is 7 a.m. right now and the sun is like beaming in on me. So I look really weird. The color's completely gone. So it's probably a really bad time for me to be talking about being washed out on camera because I'm so washed out right now. But you know what? We're just going to roll with it. All right. So rich pastels are worth a try. I love wearing rich pastels. They're very much a part of my brand. Yeah, so give them a go. Jewel tones are definitely the strongest. So when you think of jewel tones, like think the colors of sapphires, of emerald, ruby, really like highly saturated colors. So think about the sorts of colors that Oprah wears, all right? So they're always really bright and rich and saturated. And they brighten up your skin tone, which is great, and they help you pop on the camera, all righty? They also look great on all skin tones, all right? So it's kind of like you're completely safe with that. You know that you can always look gorgeous in your jewel tones, all right? And they're not too bright or too muted against different backgrounds, which you've really got to be aware of when you're on camera, what your background is, which I'll chat to you about later. Now, brown and gray, you want to ditch brown and gray. They just look blah, all right? No brown and gray. Let's keep it light and bright and beautiful and happy, all right? And then black. Now, black is one I want to experiment with more. I haven't. I'm going to, but you need to be careful. One of the things I think it's much safer if you are having your makeup professionally done, who can color correct and just be very much aware of the shadows that black can create on your face. So if you imagine like the shadow of black falling up this way, like it can look not fabulous, all right? Like it can age you, it can give you like dark circles under your eyes. So again, if you've got, like if you're really great with your makeup, or if you have like a professional doing your makeup, then awesome, like go for it. But just be aware of it, that it can create like those not that nice shadows on your face, all right? And then I just want to chat to you about your background. So you want to make sure that you do not get that floating head effect. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? The floating head effect? Tell me if you know what I'm talking about. So it's like when you have a really dark background and you're wearing a similarly dark, so say you got a black background and a black top and you're just a head. It's not that great. And it's distracting because you look like a floating head. It's not cool. So avoid that. It looks creepy. So just make sure that the colors that you're wearing have enough contrast with the color of the background. Okay, so that's like a really important one. All right, so if your background's really light, go a little bit richer, a little bit darker. If your background's dark, then go lighter. Alrighty. Hey, oh my goodness, it's Mary and Tina. Hello, you guys. How are you? Thank you so much for joining me. So the second tip I'm going to give you is about print and pattern. So you need to stay away from busy patterns just to be on the safe side. So patterns can look gorgeous in real life, but the camera can get really confused by them. So I don't know if you guys have heard of the moire effect, or if you've seen that or noticed that when people are on video. It's like where your clothes or the print on your clothes can make like this kind of dizzying effect once it's on camera. It makes it kind of fuzzy and it's very distracting. So you need to be super careful of that. Now that usually happens when the print is smaller and more detailed, so like fine stripes or little spots, or like, you know, little Liberty prints, those sorts of things. So bigger patterns are often okay, but just be careful. Like you kind of want to be a little bit more settled in your style to understand the patterns that really work and that don't. And the other thing is that you want to make sure that the patterns work with your brand, all right? Because patterns can either be very complementary to your brand or they can really clash. So just be really careful of that. And the other thing about patterns is that they can really date your videos. So if you are creating something that's evergreen, or you're wanting a video that's very long lasting, again, be really careful with your patterns because they can date. So if you do want to go with patterns, just try and go for something that's a little bit bigger, that's more classic, that's not like a trendy sort of pattern. Yeah, just try and keep it a little bit more timeless, alrighty? If you're not sure, if you're not confident, just stick with solids. Like, solids are safe, all right? What else? Yes, you can't go wrong with solids. So again, like, they're classic, they're modern, they're easy. Think Oprah, like, she does wear prints, like bigger prints sometimes, but if you think of Oprah on that couch, like, she's blocks of color, okay? Like, you know, the big belt and the block, like the cardi, like, that's kind of what I think. She's blocks of color. And rich saturated colors never go out of style. They're always, always current, all right? So keep it simple. Hi, and Eleanor. Hello, girls. It's so nice to have you here. Now, if you guys have any questions, please just pop them in the chat. I'm super duper keen to help you guys with this stuff. So ask me anything, all right? Now, the next one I want to talk to you about is silhouettes. So like my little situation that I had with the TV crew, where I had this, like, you know, what I thought was a fabulously gorgeous, like, a ruffled top and big, beautiful, like, silk flowers. And, you know, I'm sure I looked lovely in real life, but on video I thought I looked hideous. It's so embarrassing. I was so mortified, honestly. So you want to avoid, like, too much frilly, baggy fabric. And here's me saying that with, like, my baggy kimono. Don't do this, girls, all right? I'm allowed to break rules, though, because I know what I'm doing. And you girls will forgive me too. I know that you will. So just try and be careful with ruffly, like, baggy, you know, clothes that kind of come out, that are bulkier or boxier. Like, you just want to be careful of that, because the camera will interpret loose fabric as your body. Do you know what? I'm going to show this. Does this look like my body? Tell me. I don't know. I'm showing you by example. Now, I've got a question. How about earrings? I'm going to get to earrings, Eleanor. Absolutely. And do you know what? I love earrings, like, clearly. Earrings are like my signature. Now, I'm going to talk about that soon, though. I will talk about accessories, so stay with me, girlfriend. All right, so we're going to avoid loose and baggy pieces. I want you to try and stick with closer fitting, like, more tailored pieces that skim the body, all right? So when I say tailored or close fitting, I don't mean super tight or clingy, though, okay? Like, that's, you know, we don't want to see what you've had for brekkie. We don't want to see every lump and bump, all right? Like, you just want them beautifully fitted, but not tight and clingy, all right? Again, like, Oprah is I love Oprah this morning. So Oprah is a fantastic example of this, okay? She doesn't wear tight stuff, but she wears beautifully tailored, fitted pieces, okay, which are incredibly flattering and on any body type, okay? So that's not just for the skinny minis, that's for every body type. Now, the other thing you need to be careful of is, hello, Kylie, how are you, my darling? Nice to see you. Now, the other thing you need to be careful of is where the camera will cut you off. Now, sometimes you won't know this in advance, but a lot of the times you will. So think about the crop of the video. So for me, I'm cropped right now just at my bust, but think if I was cropped, so if you were cropped, say here at the waist or at the hip, okay? So you need to think about where you're going to be cropped, and you need to be careful about where the camera is cutting you off, because an outfit might look stunning from head to toe. So I talk a lot about proportions in, you know, when it comes to your style. So if you're going to wear something a little baggier at the top, then you want to go with something a little bit closer fitting on the bottom. So it's all about proportions and balancing your entire look out. But if you're on camera and nobody's seeing your bottom, then it's kind of defeating the purpose, okay? So you've just got to think, you've got to dress your entire outfit from wherever that camera is cutting you off. Okay, so you've got to think about how it looks from the waist up, or from the rib up, or from the bust up, okay, because you don't want to be shapeless. So if you're wearing something really boxy and you cut off here and it cuts you off at that widest part, it's just not very flattering. All right, so just keep that in mind, and keep in mind too if it's zooming in or out, all those things you need to think about, okay, which is more complicated when it comes to TV, but just with Facebook Lives or things like that, like you already know that the camera's going to cut me off around here, so I'm not going to wear something that's super fluffy, like around my bust, all right? So just think about stuff like that. Hi, Fern. Now, how are we going? Is this all making sense, girls? Tell me in the chat, do you have any questions so far? Let me know. Pop them in and I can swing back and answer them at the end. All righty. Now, the fourth thing I want you to think about is fabrics. So it is best to avoid shiny fabrics. They, again, just reflect the light and can be very distracting to the viewer. So you know that most of you would know that I love glitter. I love sequins. I love sparkle. I love all those pretty girly things, but they're not great on camera. Okay, so just be careful. And you know what? Some of this stuff you can completely ignore. Like I keep my glitter for my ears and my jewels. But if you've got glitter all over yourself, like, you know, a sequin, and I love sequin pieces, so don't get me wrong, but the camera, just be careful. So it's best to use matte fabrics in your clothes, like clothes that aren't reflective. So your natural fibers like cotton, silk, wool is good, and polyester. But you just want to make sure that they're not creating shadows. So you're wanting to minimize the shadows of the fabric. All right. Hello, Susie. Oh, such a pleasure, darling lady. I love sharing this stuff. All right. Now, number 5. Now, somebody asked me about jewels. It was Eleanor. So number 5, the thing that I like to do is just exaggerate your style a little bit when it comes to camera. So I'm always encouraging you ladies to push yourselves out of your comfort zone a little bit. But when it comes to camera, I love to encourage you girls to wear something that maybe you wouldn't normally wear. All right. So it doesn't mean that you need to be wearing clothes that are like completely out of this world, like out there, fabulous, Met Ball stuff. Excuse me. So that's not what I'm talking about. But I think it's a great idea to just boost your style a little bit. So it's a little bit more over the top than what you would usually go for. So I have recently signed up a business coach who I'm working with called Ron Wright. And one of the processes that he's taken me through is to think of myself as a heroic character. Now, I feel like such a loser, like saying this to you. It feels so silly, but it's kind of true, right? So think of yourself as a heroic character. Think about your existing personality. This is what he teaches me. And then multiply it by 10. Right? Now, I don't want you to multiply your style by 10 because that would be weird. But even if you just multiply it by like half, okay, exaggerate it a little bit more than you would. So if you usually wear, Eleanor, like little earrings, go for something a bit bigger. If you would usually wear earrings but no necklace, go for something a little bit more fabulous on the neck, because the idea is that you're wanting to catch attention, you're wanting to be memorable through your video, and you're also wanting to create, you know, and I do talk about signature styles, and it's a little bit like creating a signature style but boosted a little bit for camera. All right, so you're wanting to, you know, for people to see you and go, oh, that's that girl, the one that wears the crazy earrings all the time. Or, oh, that's girl, you know, that lady is the one that always wears those beautiful rich pastels, or whatever it is. You know, that you're just creating something in your viewer's mind that is memorable and that kind of catches them the second that you're on camera. All righty, so boost it. And then one more tip, number 6. I didn't say there wasn't 6, but anyway, another really good idea is to take a selfie, all right? So just the act of taking a selfie helps remove you from the situation, and it just allows you to look at the photo and be objective about it. So if you're not sure if something's working, if you're feeling like, oh, I feel weird, or it's a little bit over the top, or I'm feeling uncomfortable, uncomfortable doesn't always mean it's a bad thing. Uncomfortable can just mean that you're getting used to something new, okay? So take a selfie and look at it, and it just gives you a different vision for how you look than if you would look in the mirror. All right, so snap a selfie. Alrighty, how did we go? Has anybody got any questions? Did I cover everything that you girls would like me to cover? You let me know. All right, so I want you to think about color, print and pattern, silhouettes, fabric, exaggerate your style, and then my little lucky number 6 is to snap a selfie. So I am going to be going live, just to give you ladies a head up, Wednesday, Thursdays, Friday mornings each week, Brisbane time. So that's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights, New York time. And if you want to keep receiving these videos with my lovely little style and branding tips, then just make sure you just click the little notification that you've got on your button in the top. I think it's the top right-hand corner of your phone. Alrighty. Now, the other thing is too that I've got a few spaces for some calls this week. If any of you need support in this area with using your personal style to just boost the brand of your business, if you're wanting to up level your business, if you're wanting to be seen more, and if you're wanting to just give yourself just that confidence to be able to be seen, I would love to chat with you. All right. So I love just being able to brainstorm ideas for us, you know, to be able to work with your style and your brand, and to be able to mesh those things together so beautifully, to be able to reflect your heart and the message that, you know, is so crucial for you to get out into the world. So please just pop into the chat, call, and I will circle back with you, and we can make a time to just pop on the phone and have a chat. So I think I've got a few, maybe 3 spots available this week. So just pop in the chat, call, and we can be in touch. All right. So I will see you next week. My next live will be on Wednesday morning. That's Tuesday night, New York time. And thank you so much for watching. Now I'm just going to check we've got no more questions. Yay. I think we're all good. Alrighty, ladies. And please, for the replay, if you've got any questions, just pop them in and I'll absolutely circle back with you. Alrighty. So thanks again, ladies. Love you. Bye-bye.